Hi world, welcome back to another episode of We Love Wednesdays. A friend of mine asked me to do a money saving related video as I have yet to do one. So here is how I save money on everyday things. Today I'll show you how I save money, and I'm going to show you how much you could make from those savings if you were to make a once-off investment in the Australian stock market for 30 years, and what your potential gross investment will be if you were to keep putting that same saving value into the stock each year. Before I start, I should let you know that I'm not a financial advisor. The information in this video is for general information purposes only. It's not intended as legal, financial, or investment advice. According to CanStar, the average return in the Australian stock market was 8.9% per annum over the last 30 years. And we're going to use this figure to calculate in our examples. Number 10, buying electric goods secondhand. I buy most of our electric goods secondhand with the exception of fridges and washing machine because I've had bad experiences with these white goods in the past. We buy our phones and computers from reputable resellers and tools from Facebook Marketplace. On average, I save around $180 a year. If we were to invest this into Australian stock market, which in the past has given an average return of around about 8.9% per annum, you'll be looking at a return of $2,323 if you were to put it into the stock market and just leave it for 30 years. Or if you made a regular contribution of $180 each year, then you're looking at a total of $26,406 after the 30-year period. Number 9, buying things in bulk. And I think this is a privilege. If you are living from paycheck to paycheck, this just doesn't make sense. But if you can buy in bulk, it works out better for you in the long run. I normally buy rice, olive oil, condiments, and ground coffee in bulk. I think I will normally save around $200 per year. Put into perspective, if you were to invest this into the Australian stock market, you'll be looking at a return of $2,581. If you were to make a once-off investment and leave it for 30 years, or if you made a regular contribution of $200 each year, you're looking at a return of $29,340. Using coupons, special deals to go out to brunch, dine, movies and shows. I know you might be thinking, but this isn't an essential expenditure, and you're probably right, but I have to enjoy life as well, guys. And we could do this without using any coupons, but I'd rather save money whilst doing it. It is also a great way to discover new restaurants, eateries, and my partner and I are both movie buffs, so we would take advantage of any cheap movie deals. I once got 2 full admission adult tickets for $4. Also, we take advantage of a membership program that we get through our car, house, and health insurance. There's usually an affiliate program that they use to get cheap movie tickets and also small discounts on grocery vouchers. Overall, I think we would save around about $300 per year on going out through using coupon deals. You are looking potentially at having $3,872 if you invested that into the stock market and did absolutely nothing for 30 years. Or if you kept saving and then putting $300 each year into the market, you're looking at a potential return of $44,009. Go to the clearance section of the supermarket or grocery store. I love shopping in the clearance area. They usually have produce that will expire soon or things that are not so popular. It's easy for me because I'm vegetarian, so assessing whether the fruit or vegetable in the clearance section is still good can be done so just by looking at it. Normally I would cook it straight away or freeze it down. But you might be like, that's not fresh. I then ask, how many times have you found veggies that have been in your fridge for beyond the expiry date and you still ate it? Yeah, I know who you are. But I will be a bit more hesitant with meat products that would expire soon, as it might have higher concentration of harmful bacteria. Also, I love cooking and find cooking with whatever ingredient in the discount section a nice challenge. I'm not going to put a weekly saving value on this because the special varies a lot between each shop, but sometimes you can get up to 90% off. So I'm going to estimate that in a year I can get around with a $450 saving. If you were to invest in the stock market once off and wait 30 years, then you were looking at a potential return of $5,808 after 30 years, or $66,014 if you were to invest $450 each year for that 30-year period. Duo with gym membership. I strongly believe in staying active outdoors and going for a walk of at least 15 minutes each day, and you're getting all the benefits from the sun as well as a regular exercise. And these are just some of the benefits of sunlight. I used to have gym membership that was worth about $10 per week, and that was pretty cheap. So based on this, I saved about $520 per year, which is about $6,711 if you were to invest that into the stock market. But if you made a regular contribution of $520 per year, you're looking at a return of $76,283 after 30 years. Number 5 on the list is growing your own low maintenance veggies. Although I don't have a veggie garden, but I grow most of my vegetables in pots. I find it handy to have some easy to grow vegetables on hand all year round. I mainly grow a lot of easy to grow leafy greens such as silver beet, red vine sorrel, lettuce, and I also have spring onion, leek, radish, chilies, etc. I also started growing my own mushrooms, including various types of oyster mushrooms. I think I save around about $12 per year on vegetables and mushrooms. Doing the maths, this is a saving of around about $624 per year, or a return of $8,054 after 30 years in the Australian stock market. And if I was to invest this every year, it will be $91,539. To be honest, I find it a miracle that my veggie garden's still alive. And I'm always surprised that they have grown so much after not tending to them for a few days. To me, having a veggie garden isn't about saving money so much, but to me, it's a lot about enjoyment and just spending time in the garden and using my hands. And I find it very therapeutic, and being away from the screen is always beneficial. Riding your bike. I bought an electric bike a while ago. And no, I'm not going to deliver Uber Eats, but I used to ride my bike everywhere, and that saved me a lot of money. So considering buying a bike and riding everywhere. As I work from home these days, I don't go out as much. Plus I have a Prius and everything is just a stone throw away. So I find that riding a bike doesn't necessarily benefit me financially. But if you could commute on a bike to work every day instead of taking public transport, then you are going to save at least $7 a day. And I'm being conservative here because public transport costs around about $10 per day in my state. Based on $7 a day times 250 days, because you're not going into work every day, this amounts to about $1,700, which equates to a return of $22,587 in 30 years' time for a once-off investment. And if you were to invest $1,700 in the share market each year, then you are looking at potentially sitting on $249,386 after 30 years. BYO beverages. I used to get a coffee in the morning, and for lunch I would get a top-up coffee or maybe a drink. If you bought your own coffee plunger and just got some pre-ground beans, you could be saving a chunk of that money. If your work doesn't have free beverages like tea, bring some in. This is a saving of $2,640 per year. If I was to invest this into the stock market and wait for 30 years, I'll be potentially looking at $34,075 at the end of the 30-year period. Or if I was to make a regular contribution of $2,640 into the stock market, I'm looking at potentially having $387,282. Food preparation on the weekend. I used to have very little time and bought lunch out almost every day, and found the fast food I ate was pretty fat and salty. And the worst part was it was eating into my pocket. I spent at least $14 a day, Put that into perspective, if you invested that money into the Australian stock market for 30 years and did absolutely nothing, you will have $45,176 based on an annual return of 8.9%, which is the real return we have seen in the past. And if you were a regular investor and put that money into the stock market each year and waited for maturity, you are looking at potentially sitting on over $500,000 after 30 years. When I realized this, I started cooking my own lunch on the weekend. If you have a full-time job, make your own lunch on the weekend to freeze. Learn how to make 5 basic and easy dishes that you love. Spend one afternoon making 5 lots of 2 of these dishes. Usually this can keep up to 2 weeks in the freezer, and because you can alternate, you get a nice variety. Not only do you save money, I always knew what I was putting in and how much salt I was putting in. After eating my own food, I actually realized I had lost weight. Number 1, don't buy new clothes. Op shopping or shopping online for used clothes is a great way to save on clothing, and sometimes you can get designer clothes for really cheap. In my 20s, I used to buy only new clothes, and I did this almost every week. At one point, I calculated that I was spending almost $10,000 per year just on clothing. And now to the numbers. If I've invested this into the Australian stocks, I'll be sitting on potentially $129,073 in 30 years' time, and if I was to make a regular contribution of $10,000 per year into the market, I will be looking at potentially sitting on $1.47 million after the 30-year period. The sad reality is, I don't think I own any of those clothing anymore, and I don't remember even wearing them for more than 3 times. And to be honest, those material things only gave me a short burst of happiness, and there was no other value that I gained. Having said that, there are things that I do buy new, including the obvious, socks and undergarments. As I work at home now, I wear only t-shirts, and I choose mainly black, white, khaki, or mustard. And if I was to talk to a client, I wear my own company t-shirt. And now for the grand total. If I were to invest all the savings I made into the Australian stock market on a regular basis, I'm looking at a potential gross return of $2.98 million after 30 years. Q&A time. I only realized recently that people were sending me messages on Instagram as they were going into the back end of the message inbox, so I will try my best to answer at least one question people have here on my video. Render Reality asked, I see you sometimes post about having taken advantage of the move in the stock market. Does it come to you from practice, or you follow any specific strategies to keep up with certain stocks? Great question. I do follow some volatile companies in the Australian stock market. For a while, I was trading Afterpay during lunchtime whilst I was still working as a scientist in the biotech company with no money at all and taking advantage of the T+2 settlement on CommSec. I was putting around about $50K for 15 minutes and then pulling it out and then going back to work. I didn't know how much I was making until my partner did my accounting and said I made around about $14K before tax during the space of 3 months. For a while, I was doing day trading on Plus 500, but I felt I had absolutely no time left to do anything else. These days, I seldom do any day trading, but I'm more of a swing trader. The metrics I use include simple moving average, exponential moving average, relative strength index, volume, and Bollinger Bands. However, I'm reducing my money from stocks into my business and diversifying my portfolio into international trade. If you want to know more about trading in American stocks, I highly recommend the YouTuber Financial Journey, who has a diverse portfolio in American and Canadian stocks. If you are going to buy American stocks, sign up to my stake using my link below and you could get a free Apple stock worth up to $150. If you want to let YouTube know my video ain't so bad, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.